following steps. If exposed, remove clothes. Emergency broadcast system.
Podcast for the curious mind. I don't know what that means.
Broadcasting live from a Chinese-made microphone deep within enemy Sioux Nation. I am Jamal, here with Suman Tufak. Suman Tufak? What,
Someone to fuck?
And Secret Agent Clemens is joining the show today, too. Cannot be broadcast. His face cannot be seen by the general population. It's not allowed. Welcome, Clemens.
Thank you. We should do like the old Saints days. Get him a brown bag, cut out the eyes. He can just wear that.
Will the three-lettered agency allow such a presentation? I mean, check with your superiors.
I'll get some.
Right.
I'll get some together.
Okay,
or a Rey Mysterio mask.
Yes, yeah. I think that's in copyright infringement. Watch us get blocked on YouTube. Rey Mysterio's family comes after us. ASA.
To be continued.
We got crazy news. Let it be noted that it's no mistake that Devin supposedly had to work late today. Right? And if he's listening to this, let us know. We're ashamed. We come to hear.
Disappointed.
He saw the title of what the show is going to be, and I think it. You're not scared by this Secret Agent Clemens, are you?
Oh no, I'm excited. I'm excited to hear what's about to unfold tonight.
Aliens in America. There's some weird stuff going on. Now, granted, I've only done like 6 hours of research over the past week on this, so I'm not very well versed. But I think there's some weird stuff going on TikTok. So I've got some screen sharing stuff I want to show with you guys. The videos that were sent to me by shout out to Ray Baruso for sharing these with me. Give me one quick second because I'm awful at this. So we've got right here these aliens that have you heard this about Las Vegas? What happened in North Las Vegas? Supposedly April 30th. Now, I just heard about this within the last week.
Yes, I've heard. I haven't seen anything. I've just heard banter where this is something that a lot of people have been waiting for, like good evidence. So I'm
finally good evidence on. Have you seen any of this, May?
Yeah. Okay. It was all over my Twitter, so I looked into it a little bit.
Here, let me. Here's a video on TikTok. I'll play this here real quick. Maybe. Let me know if you can hear it, May. If you can't, I'll start it over. Maybe. Is it going to play here? All right. Let me. Technical difficulties. FX Society. My apologies. Let me remove that. Let me try it this way. Screen share. Share screen. And then we'll. See, now I don't know why it's not playing here. This is it's highly embarrassing. Let me try this. So I've been posting it on Twitter. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to this, but let me see if this will jog its memory. Can you hear me, May?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I think it's the internet here. There we go.
Sources telling News Now investigators that several agencies believe something landed or crashed Whether it was non-humans or not, it certainly scared the people living on this property. Now, before we show you that video...
So right away, I wanted to show this video first because I just think this isn't like one of those stories that like there's some guy in the back corner of the internet sharing a story of something his neighbor saw. You know, this is like it made CBS, ABC, local stations. It didn't. I don't think it made national, but it made local stations. And then, I mean, so this is CBS broadcast of what happened.
8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and it's looking at us, and it's still there.
Okay, where is this on your property?
In my backyard. I swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually we terrified of it.
So there's two people.
And they're very large. They're like 8 foot. 9 feet. 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes. They have big eyes.
Okay.
Like I can't explain it. And they're not human. They're 100% not human.
How do you take that call?
Okay, when we said we were talking about aliens, I'm thinking, you know, the classic Gray's 4-foot aliens.
No, supposedly these are the Greys or whatever.
8 foot.
Yeah.
What are the Greys, man? Because that's like alien terminology right there. The Greys.
Yeah, the gray aliens, the ones in you know, like the ones that crashed in Roswell that may or may
So
not
are all the Greys like supposedly 8-10 foot tall? Because the Canadian minister, one of the Canadian ministers from like the 90s said that the prime minister would meet with extreme, like these aliens that were like 9-10 foot tall. So I've heard that, and this happened back in the 90s. I don't know if you ever heard of Coast to Coast. We were at Coast to Coast AM. Oh, it's great. It's great. I grew up on that stuff, but you know, what was great about it is that you would get all these weird stories about aliens, and but now it's like I remember hearing that story, and then what was it, May? Early in the show, we talked about the head of the Department of Defense for Israel. He talked about there being an alien base in Mars and how all the governments go up there and chit chat. And I mean, this is like, it's not just some,
just some nobody just talking about.
I mean, this is a guy that was in high office. Yeah. Like ran a lot of power, you know, talk.
Very credible.
And they asked him, well, aren't you worried about repercussions? He's like, what are they going to do? They're going to kill me. I'm 96.
Right.
So, I mean,
and why would you make something like that?
It's
what do you have a game?
It's the only thing I saw was I sent you a video on Messenger, supposedly of the aliens, or I don't know. I don't know if it was related to that Vegas call or not, but they were saying like the fence didn't even match, like because there's cop footage of them going in the backyard and whatnot, and then there's been a bunch of videos of like alien of supposedly all tied into when that crash happened, of footage of, you know, aliens and whatnot, but like a lot of the stuff in the backgrounds aren't matching up. So I don't know, you know, it is just kind of one of those things. But I mean,
let's watch more of this. Yeah. On in at CBS.
Okay.
Well, the 8 News Now investigators obtaining video as officers then responded to the call you just heard. You'll see the officers also.
This part weirds me out a little bit.
And is it all connected?
This is body cam footage. He's just talking to this guy. Normal stop.
It's almost midnight on May 1st when a Las Vegas Metro Police officer's body cam catches this, something flashing low in the sky.
Beside it, and another one's inside,
Minutes
and it
later.
has big eyes and it's looking at us, and it's still there.
Someone calls 911 reporting 2 large figures as he's sent to the Northwest Valley home.
I have butterflies, bro. I've only thought of shooting stars, and these people say there's aliens in their backyard.
By now,
That's the cop that received the call to go.
Yeah, that guy was like, how fast? Like,
it's more than an hour after.
Mate, when you
Right.
see this, let me rewind.
The 8 News Now investigators obtaining another.
Yeah. Where's the footage here of that
Sent to the
green
Northwest
circle
Valley
coming
home.
down? Like
And
it's
another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us.
Someone calls 911 reporting 2 large police officer cam catches this, something flashing low in the sky. Almost midnight on May
look at the
1st,
angle that's
when a Las Vegas Metro police officer's body cam catches this,
looks like it's falling.
I was trying to come up with arguments of, someone could say, well, it's a drone or, a light show. But it doesn't, I've never seen a drone go down like that.
No, straight down.
And how bright that was and whatnot, and just the way that's no drone. I mean, now
it's
more
too
and
big.
more, like they're not afraid, or the government's not hiding the fact that there are aliens and they've had the encounters. So now it's just getting that concrete proof to show everybody else what they've probably been noticed, or what they've probably been knowing for years.
Okay. Back to the broadcast. I want to show you guys more of this. Let me see here. Change our layout.
something flashing. News Now investigators obtaining another officer's video as he's sent to the Northwest Valley home.
I have butterflies, bro. I've only thought of shooting stars, and these people say there's aliens in their backyard.
By now, it's more than an hour.
It was like a big.
One of my partners said they saw something fall out of the sky too, so that's why I'm kind of curious. Did you see anything land in your backyard, or
They see like a big. That's what they say. They see like a big something with light.
What I saw right now, I do believe in it.
Police walk into the backyard to investigate, but Metro blacked out that part of the video because it's considered private property. What's clear, they're taking
Private property?
Private property.
I don't know about that.
Now, there's reports. Was it you that sent it to me, May? The guy at the Children's Hospital that talked to the officer?
I don't know. I don't think so. What I sent you was actually like supposedly footage of these gray aliens in someone's backyard that were ginormous.
That's right. So Ray sent me a video, TikTok. Guy was sitting, his child was getting something done at this hospital. There's a cop there. He said the cop, "Oh, yeah, I heard you guys had an eventful night." And the cop goes, "Oh yeah, we're not allowed to talk about it." And he's like, "All I want to know is like, why can't we see the footage?" And the cop goes, "We don't have the footage. There's 20 minutes missing from everyone's body cam from that night."
Wow.
He's like, "So we don't even have access to it." Now it's reported in CBS, and I don't know if I'd be interested to hear the wording of how ABC approached it, but the wording is it would be in what was it? Invasion of the privacy of the homeowners, showing their backyard.
I don't believe that. Like the privacy, like when they make an arrest, like they're not thinking about, oh, we're crossing the line of private property versus public property, so I'm going to pause my body cam. Like, so to me, why are you trying to already cover it up? So, like,
well, and I'm curious if I guess I'm curious if you're trying to prevent the public from being able to see how it landed, or because by then it sounds like it was already gone, right? It's already gone. So all that's left is like the imprint of where it landed, or
But see, my thing is this: when there's a small plane crash, they show crash footage. Like when there's nothing suspicious happening, they show the footage. They show everything. But now with this, we have already, like, we're barely into June, or halfway into June, and we're missing 20 minutes of footage, and these two things may or may not be connected. Like so
well, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the first I'm hearing of this was a week ago. Now the
Right.
report is this happened on April 30th at midnight. That's when, on that report we're watching through CBS, that's the date they give us. So, local report never made national news. And then, I did you hear anything about this prior, like when it happened, Chris?
No, no, it just all of a sudden I was scrolling Twitter not even a week ago, and it was just ton of alien footage, a ton of that phone conversation with the dispatcher. I mean, I didn't hear about it until like last week.
I wonder if it was like kept until public release, or someone had to file a FOIA, Freedom of Act information, to get that. I don't know. It's very odd. There's more to this. Let's keep trucking along. You guys can stop me whenever too if you find something interesting. This is him leaving
this call seriously.
Hey, this might sound like a really dumb question, but did you guys see anything fall out of the sky?
Asking others what they saw.
I would normally discount as nothing. However, seeing as one of my partners said they saw two, only reason further.
That investigation
Yeah,
turning
only
up
'cause the
no
cops said.
concrete answers as of Wednesday. Whatever or whoever fell into the yard, long gone within minutes.
Oh, hey, if those 9-foot beings come back, don't call us, all right? Deal with it yourself. I ain't dealing with that.
So yeah, this is quite weird. Ryan was saying as we're watching this story. Now we've been in contact with the family in that video, and as you heard in that 911 call, they seem very reasonable and honestly quite scared as you heard them in the call. No, they don't seem impaired in any way. And whatever crashed, by the time the police got there, was gone. But sources say that there's really no dispute. Something was in their yard. Exactly what?
Something. The neighbors see something. So what could it be?
Well, we know that there are obviously a lot of military bases around this area. George Knapp covers a lot of that stuff for us on the 80s Now Investigators. We're showing you drone video from above that area. And we know, of course, Creech not far away, Nellis Air Force Base not far. I checked in with them. They say they are not involved at all, and we are waiting to hear from the Pentagon as well.
And you talked to these people. It seemed completely legitimate to you. And do you have any personal thoughts on maybe what it was?
Right. So it seems from talking to our sources that something happened. There was obviously some flash in the sky. A lot of people saw it that night on the night of April 30th, early in the morning on May 1st. Did that exact thing land in their yard? I don't know. But these people said they saw some SUV circling the area. Could this have been some piece of equipment that malfunctioned? Maybe they saw something and then someone came. I can't believe we're talking about this.
Right.
Someone came and retrieved it from the backyard in the SUV. We don't know. This all comes as a former high-level intelligence officer, a veteran, was on
I mean, this
News
is the
Nation
day and
talking
age
about
of
how
like
there is a
Ring
program
doorbells and Ring
where the government-
cameras, and you're telling me no one has, like, usually they band together and broadcast this to everybody. Like, that's what kind of threw me was
No,
where's the other
there is
footage at?
there is ring footage. Yeah, let's can you still see my screen here? May? I can't. I don't know. I'm talking to you, bud.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, sorry.
Okay. So here's one. And then let me see if I can find the ring. So the ring, you can hear it. The ring camera. Let me see.
Diles, ahí están los sobrinos, veniendo para acá. ¿Qué? Anda el camión, los colchadicas del camión. Mira, segundo, de izquierda para acá, de cables.
That's not it. Sorry. Is this it? Yeah, check out crash, because there's one where you hear it, and they've all said it was like a crash, but when you hear it, I'd be interested to hear what your take is on it, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it here on. There's all these videos here that's hard to cycle through.
Not to mention, like, it seems to be like almost a natural reaction nowadays to grab your phone and start recording or take pictures of stuff.
Right.
So, I have to agree with someone to that. Like, there's got to be a lot more footage somewhere. And why would you have to hide all that footage?
Well,
like, we're all about, like, hot off the press, like, up to date, like, stuff. Why are we just hearing about it like late May, early June?
So here is a video from the actual person that called the police. This is the same kid here. Give me a second here. Pull it up. Takes a minute to wake up, I guess.
Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. This is my first video. I'm here to tell you what happened to me on May 1st. I'm not making this story out for clout or fame. I just want to tell you what happened to me and my family. And I know some people are not gonna believe this, but each person is different. So this is what happened to me. Keep in mind, this is midnight and I'm fixing a truck in my backyard.
I'm going to pause this real quick just to point out his attire. He's wearing a Simpsons hoodie with the checkerboard in the background. So I don't know if you ever pay attention to Mason symbolisms, but the checkerboard, it could be just, absolutely nothing, but it is just thought it was interesting. Point it out there.
I'm only with my brother and I hear something fall from the sky. I turn around, the only thing I see is a big light falling from the sky, and moments after I feel a big impact and a bang, sort of like a big impact fall. And me and my brother looked at each other and we were scared, but when the impact happened, it was sort of like a shock wave.
Why does he keep adjusting? Why is
Like
he
an
adjusting?
out-of-body experience. So to say, when I tried
He's
to
running the video so it doesn't stop.
it was all blurry, not my vision, but only the backyard area. And I hear thousands of footsteps around me, and maybe a couple seconds later, the blurriness was gone. And here's the footage of the body, the police officer's body cam, and here's the object I'm referring to, the light. Video.
So he's saying this is what fell. This is what.
Here's a ring camera video. You could hear the bang.
Right here.
This is around the neighborhood. So here's the video.
You can barely hear it.
So when that happened, the only thing I can see in the backyard is a tall creature, probably around 8-10 feet tall, very thin. So I called my dad. He went to the backyard and he saw the same thing, the same creature I saw. He told me to go inside the house. At this point, we all freaking out, me and my family. And here's the video where we were in the backyard area. You cannot see it too good, but on camera, but it's there. Here's the video.
Calmudarela, me calcines var eso. Cáelo, cherro, que chile. Cáelo, cherro.
moments after the video, me and my brother went to go pick up my tools. Then my brother calls me, and he told me shakingly, "Look behind the forklift." So I look. Keep in mind, I'm facing the forklift, and then I see the alien creature. So when I saw it, it was a tall, skinny, lengthy creature. He was a gray, greenish color, and when I looked at it in the eyes, my body just froze. Like the same experience as having sleep paralysis. Keep in mind, I'm staring at him, and I look at his whole body, and he has a weird looking feet and a big face, and eyes, and you can see a big mouth. And I could hear his loud, deep breathing, and I could see his stomach moving. He would just stare at me. Seconds later, I can start moving again. And I start running towards the house. That's when I call 911, and here's the 911 call.
Which we've heard that.
And they're not human. They're 100%.
And a loud whispering, like you could hear whisperings. We were in the living room area. You could hear footsteps on the roof. So we waited a little bit for the police. When they arrived, they told me I told them what I saw, and they were kind of freaked out. Here's the body cam of the officer.
Now it's more than.
I've seen that.
Yes, you guys. One of my partners said.
Police walk into the backyard.
Driving around the neighborhood, asking.
There we go. Let's go back to that part.
Metro.
So they went in the backyard, and one of the officers pointed at the floor, and it was a perfect circle. Here's a photo of the circle I'm referring to.
So they did.
Oh, wow.
Keep in mind, 2 officers.
Should I pause that?
And one of the.
Oh.
The only thing that I don't like about that is if these things were 8 to 10 feet tall and there was 2 of them, that's an awfully small space for 2 people. Like, I mean, we don't know how long it is, but you know, I don't know.
Well, that could have been like the base for it, though, too. You know, like just the footing. Yeah. We don't know if that's like.
But the way it was moving, don't you think like there would have been some kind of crater, not just a fine dust?
Unless
cycle?
it meant to land.
Yeah.
Like, what is
Because
this?
I mean,
it's
falling out of the sky. Yeah, there would be a much bigger hole.
Yeah, and where are footprints? There's no footprints. There's no like.
No. And why is it only that? Why? I mean, they clearly were taking videos, and then why all of a sudden is it just pictures?
And the same videos and referencing the same videos.
Yes, and they're all the same. There's no other type of footage.
And he was like, I know he was pushing a button to like for the video or whatever, but if you notice at some point he starts like touching the other side of the screen. So I don't know if the position changes or like, but it seems like he's recording them all in succession. But
or like he's like, did it feel like he's maybe like reading the script? Who says? My brother said to me shakingly, "Look behind the forklift." I don't know who describes. I mean. Who describes an event like
maybe
that?
That's just the vocabulary that he's developed since coming to America.
Okay.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's trying to translate like what was said the best way.
Yeah,
because because we can hear in the video that they are talking
excitedly,
like and they were all excited. So you know, best translates to like, and I'm sure his brother was like scared, shaking. You know, I mean, I get it because there's.
I guess if you're trying to like, yeah, I don't know. It just seems like an odd choice. I'm not saying anything against it. It's just things I picked up on myself. I'm just like,
and a big mouth too. Like they said it, like because the common, like the gray aliens that I'm used to, like the common, they have small mouths, big eyes. Like, but small mouths, no nose or 2 holes for a nose. So when they say a big mouth, I'm like, that kind of throws me off guard. I mean, right out of the gate, 8 to 10 feet tall. Like these things are twice as big as what the common ones that we're used to, hearing about.
Yeah,
like
the little tiny ones were
right. So it's interesting. It's like, ooh, okay.
Are you guys still interested in what this guy has to say? Should I keep playing it? Okay.
Yeah, keep going.
All right.
Keep in mind, 2 officers came in my house, and one of them started running to his car, driving around the neighborhood, asking passing cars if they saw a light.
What's clear, they're taking this call seriously.
Hey, this might sound like a really dumb question.
Okay.
But did you guys see anything fall out of the sky?
Asking others what they saw.
Now, you see, that's interesting because CBS presented it as they are done with the call and they're leaving and they're sort of making a joke about it. But according to him, he's saying one officer stayed with them and one officer started going around asking people.
I would normally discount it as nothing. However, seeing as one of my partners said they saw it too, only reason I'm actually investigating it further.
Goosebumps and freaking out. He started investigating that he told me his partner, she saw a light falling from the sky. He told me he believes me because her partner reported that she saw the same light as me.
Otherwise,
now
he
we're
wouldn't,
walking the front yard. Then the other officer
Says something about our law enforcement agency. Anyway, moving on.
came here. Here's a video of him talking to my family.
If those 9-foot beings come back, don't call us, all right? Deal with it yourself. I ain't dealing with that.
Just serve and protect
themselves.
Moments before they left,
So he's pissed that he didn't get to finish his donut.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Not against.
Let's not just because Devin's not here doesn't mean we have to go all out cop hate. All right.
Just getting it in for him.
If I see the thing again, so don't call him, just shoot him. And you can hear in the video. Here's the video.
If those 9-foot beings come back, don't call us, all right? Deal with it yourself. I ain't dealing with that.
I
So
didn't
they
hear him
left,
say shoot
and
him.
we went inside the house and we started praying.
Is
As we're
that an
praying, you can
implication?
hear a loud human-like scream in the backyard. This is what happened to me on May 1st, 2023. I hope you guys kind of understand what happened to me. I know it's hard to believe, but I saw what I saw, and it's kind of going viral. That's why I'm here to explain the story. I did an interview with journalist Doc Papa. I'm going to put his video in the description. I'm going to make a part 2 of the stuff that happened after May 1st, and thank you for watching the video.
All right. All right. So that's
Is there a part 2 out?
well, I did not. I don't really care after that because it's just about his life after it's happened. So I started doing some research on this, right? Trying to figure out. Let's see. Sorry, I'm loading in here. Sorry. That seems pretty damning to me.
It's that footage. Like you clearly see something falling out of the sky. You clearly see it, and now you have someone who clearly doesn't have anything to gain. It's not everyone making videos like, oh, it crashed in my backyard. No, it crashed in mine. Or they're establishing credibility. There's more than just one person who's seen this. I'm still excited and
it's
confused why that there's not more footage.
We got 4 comments here. Let me catch up here. Lobofish, why would the aliens not have proto for possible crash, fly at light speed, then crash in the Nevada desert? Protocol. Why would aliens not have protocol for a possible crash? Ray says, how can he see his feet from behind the forklift? So, well, I mean, I guess I don't know how he was staring at the forklift. Was it off to the side and maybe he was like through the forks? I don't know. It's something. Cole got the Riz, aliens or AI. Either way, something getting their cheeks clapped tonight. Okay. All right. Interesting. So I started doing research on what happened on the night of June 30th. Like, what was the president doing? What was
or April 30th?
Right? Or April 30th. Yes, thank you. What was the president doing? Who was in Las Vegas at that time? Was there anything significant going on at all?
Did the military really have anything to do with this, or did
Well,
they, or did they not?
I don't. It's weird because you don't ever see a broadcast. I mean, when's the last time we saw a broadcast talking about something like this, or police body cam footage?
Yeah, it's especially police body cam footage, because that was just something implemented recently. So it's not CGI or anything like that. It's so that's what I find interesting is there's how can we debunk police cam footage?
All right, so April 30th, the day before the crash, because the crash supposedly happens at midnight. On Sunday, the president has no public events scheduled that day. He has in-town pool call time, which I think is like when the cabinet meets together. I don't know what pool call time. Maybe he goes to the pool. He did talk about how kids like to rub his legs at the pool.
He gets in his water aerobics with all the other old people.
Yeah.
Okay, Joe, circle your arms.
Get out the presidential noodle. It's got the seal.
I pissed in the pool. I pissed in it.
Air Force noodle.
Okay, now at 9 a.m., the president receives his presidential daily briefing. So this would have been 9 hours after the landing.
And when he was told.
You would think you'd been told sooner, but who knows? Anyway, 10:30 in-town pool call time. 12 o'clock at noon, the president and the vice president have a small little meeting with the National Small Business SBA administrator, blah, blah, blah. Then at 2:30, and I thought this part was interesting, at 2:30, the president and the first lady welcome His Excellency Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., President of the Republic of the Philippines, and his wife to the White House. And then he has a bilateral meeting with His Excellency. So pretty much then the rest of the day is spent talking to the President of the Philippines. So I thought that was interesting. So I'm like, oh, okay. So that's what happens that day. So I was like, I just checked it off the list, wanted to sort of see what was going on over there. And then I started doing more research. And 3 days prior, there was another alien sighting in God dang, I can't remember if it was Las Vegas or I think it was Las Vegas. Might have been Arizona. But it's like 4 lights that just remained stationary. Let me see if I can find this here. It would have been April 27th. I'll share it on the screen.
So are you saying that this could have been the leader of the Philippines that just landed his?
Okay, so it is Las Vegas. It wasn't. It was Las Vegas. It was not Arizona. So I have a theory. All right. So I want to show you guys this video first, just so you guys can see it. Let me present. Yes, Queen. All right. A second here. All right. Take a look at this this video from 3 days prior, still in Las Vegas, April 27th.
Plane, is it a UFO? We can't figure it out. So a viewer reaching out saw these large bright lights in the skies over the strip in downtown. He says they're bigger than the helicopters we see circling many times. And we just heard back from Nellis. They say not involved in this. So if you think you know what these are, or you've seen these, you can reach out, let us know right on our website, anewsnow.com. Top story there.
All right. So there was so there's that. So I look what happened on April 27th, right? And I'll share the screen here with you. On April 27th here.
Have we ruled out projection malfunctions?
I don't think we have. No, I don't. That's we can get to that though for sure. What I saw though was this article. Philippine warship in standoff with Chinese vessels. So I read the story and what would happen. So you guys know what's going on with China and the South China Sea argument?
Are they saying that the Philippines is part of China or should be part of China?
Essentially, they're saying the waters belong to China. Like the Philippines get to enjoy it. Let me show you a picture of South China Sea here.
But does that mean they're gonna like put up buoys then for the?
Yeah,
property
there's
lines?
buoys. You can't cross them. The fish are on that side.
yes. So this is what China, they call this the 9 points. They believe all of this right here belongs to them. Right? This is all the China. This is all of. That's what they claim. So the Philippines right now, what had happened on April 27th was there was a Coast Guard boat and it got blocked by a Chinese Navy boat. And the official report is nobody moved, but there was no shots fired either. And they're looking for a diplomatic solution. So for when this happened at the I think it was like at 11 a.m., which would have been the exact same time those lights were showing over Las Vegas. And then you have your next alien sighting in North Las Vegas the same day the president of the Philippines heads to the White House. Now, I think we can all agree when it comes to diplomatic solutions, usually the United States is involved in one way or the other, especially when it comes to naval territory that the Chinese are trying to prevent American ships from entering.
Absolutely.
And then
superpower. America's a superpower, right? They're the ones that, regulate.
Yeah.
Can we just think like how do you think that conversation went when they were just the two boats wouldn't move? Was it just was it high pitched? Was it just a lot of nonsense? Or do you think it was pretty professional?
Well, you hear what they say to some of the American pilots and stuff. It's like scream. I don't know if that's.
I can only imagine. It's pretty great. I'd like to be a fly on the wall.
Yes.
He sounds hungry. We should send donuts over there.
Well, anyway, I just thought that was I don't know if that means anything or not. I just think there's some interesting same things to be happening all at the same time. Lobofish said, did the initial witness not see the spacecraft, and where did that go?
Good question. Like we see the circle in the sand where it, could have only landed because, if it crashed, there would have been more evidence of a
it'd
crash.
been a bigger mess. And two, if it takes off, like you're gonna see some more ground disturbance with it taking off. What they do? Just do a pit stop in this dude's backyard, go to 7-Eleven, grab a Slurpee, and go. Lobofish makes a good thing. Like, how come nobody saw the spacecraft, but yet you heard people on your roof and a dude hiding behind a forklift?
Now, Ray says he thinks the circle in the yard was debunked. So that's interesting too. I don't,
like a fireplace layout.
It was
that
too
what he
big for a
thinks?
fireplace layout. I'm not for sure what I don't know if he was watching TikTok and someone debunked it.
It's really hard to tell exactly how big that circle is, like with that picture. without some sort of something
to
context,
put it to scale.
Yeah.
No, and this is very weird because this is the same. So this hits the news the same time. Have you guys been paying attention to this whistleblower that's gone on a couple different shows now? Filed all the proper paperwork to be a whistleblower, so he's like legally protected by the United States government, and said that, hey, we have dozens of.
He was approved.
He was approved.
Okay.
He's
Your
approved
credit
to be a
came back
whistleblower.
good. You're good. You
Yeah,
can start
you're
on
good.
Monday.
We'll send,
You
John.
can start on
We'll
Monday.
send.
We can debunk. Okay, yeah, you're good. You're good to go. Okay.
Now we can kill you. Yep.
He's coming out and saying that we have multiple ships. You know, multiple. The United States has multiple spacecraft that has been apprehended, several in working order that have been attempted to be reversed engineered. He didn't say it was anything done, and then a couple of spacecraft from crash sites. And he like had a hearing before Congress and all that stuff.
I mean, that makes sense because I
You heard
remember
about this?
No, this is the premiere.
Yeah, I remember
So,
Will
what'd you
Smith
say, man?
saying. Will Smith came out and said Independence Day 2 wasn't going to be filmed until they could reverse engineer those aircraft. You don't remember hearing that? No.
You cut out, and I could tell you're really trying really hard to tell a joke there, and it just got slaughtered. Looked like sunshine back there. Will Smith. All I caught was Will Smith was not going to do Independence Day 2.
Yeah, because he wanted to wait to see if they could reverse engineer those aliens aircraft. Because he wanted more of a, good footage. You didn't hear that? I'll
No.
look into it. I'll send it over.
Yeah. Ray said they looked at the Google Earth images. That's how they debunked it. Oh, from before the date. From before the date.
Okay.
I'm sure Google wouldn't lie to us.
No.
Yeah, I'm sure Google didn't alter anything. You see what they've done to Antarctica. Google Maps. Oh, speaking of which, we got Brad Olson coming on the show in a couple of weeks. The adventure alien aficionado. He just got out of a debate with Flat Earth Dave 2 weeks ago. So if you get a chance, watch that. It's a great show.
Very nice.
I guess I don't know if you guys want to see a clip of what this whistleblower is saying. I can look it up here though. Catch a little clip. Because I'm sort of surprised none of you guys have heard about this. It like hit the news hard for a day, and then I haven't heard anyone talk about it since then. Give me a second. You guys talk about something. Podcast, man. You got to talk.
Yep. Sorry. You're talking about the whistleblower?
Yeah. Have you heard about the whistleblower?
No, I didn't see anything. I don't know really kind of what stock to put in all that anyways. I find it funny that he had to file the right paperwork.
Well, that's they started that with Trump, remember, because they wanted people to have a safe space if they wanted to come out. Now it's like backfiring them because they, did it to spite Trump, and now it's offering everyone else protections.
Good. Hopefully something good will come of it.
Oh, why every time I spell alien backwards? Let me see here if I can find an interview.
Isn't it funny how like the government has actually came out with evidence and videos showing some of these UAPs and UFOs, and yet we're still, when we see evidence on popular social media now, we're still questioning it. Like, is this real? Did this really happen? And this cop investigating and saying, well, the reason why I'm asking more people to gain some sort of credibility by asking multiple people if they saw something fall out of the sky is because my partner said it, not because we received a call and we have to respond to a call, but because somebody else that like I know saw it. Now we're going to investigate it. We're gonna ask how many other people have seen it.
Do you think anyone you think there? it could be aliens knocking on your front door, and people still won't believe in aliens.
100%. Because whatever to that hearing that the government had a couple months ago about the UFOs and stuff.
Well, you see, and that's what I'm almost wondering is like, is this their rollout to getting everyone? You remember Project Bluebeam? The whole idea is they were going to get a one world government thing going, and they needed all the religions to come together. So they decided, like, one of the plans was like, hey, maybe we can convince people that, like, there's just, all these gods represent one god, and then, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, so like religion is basically based off of like aliens coming down,
Yes.
and like we just mistakenly or we misinterpreted alien technology in with things that we didn't understand.
Yeah,
so
and their hope is that then everyone will just like all unite together and worship worship the god alien that's finally revealed himself, and then could be considered like the second coming of Christ in his true form for Christians, or it could be Buddha's return or Muhammad's return, or you know what I mean? Like that you can apply it to just about anything. Be like, oh hey, it turns out I was an alien. And then, boom, you got your one world religion for your one world government.
Yeah, but are you ever going to have just a one thing, one system, one world order? I mean, you're going to have some people that are going to fight back, but
well,
I don't
didn't
know.
Ronald Reagan say it back when he addressed the nation? Like, if there was just one thing, one outside force that we all like that forced us all to come together, like there was some like an alien invasion that would come that would force all humanity like to come together.
Yeah, that's Project Bluebeam. That's what there was a Canadian scientist that said that they were doing research on this, wrote a book, and then died of a heart attack like a week after the book was written. And it's like, there's Rich did an episode on it. It was like a bunch of weird stuff. I think his family died, and like, it was very serious. Like, it was end of the family line type of a deal. And it was all based off of this thing he had printed about Project Bluebeam, which was his belief was that was going to be their goal to creating this one world. Because I don't believe anyone here doubts that there's a push for a one world government.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like there's
at least in Western culture,
right? Yeah, we don't want it. I don't want a one world government. I don't want I think they're trying even with the digital currency and things trying to centralize everything. I'm not for it.
Yeah, the individual citizens I don't think are really for it, but the governments of Western civilizations seem like they're all in on this idea of a one world government.
I mean, shouldn't that scare the government if we were all to come together? I mean, that's my thing, because I think that's what we're all trying to do anyways, is come together and put all the bullshit aside. But if we all come together for a one world government, I don't know. It'd be interesting. I mean, because I know that we are a threat if we all come together and put race and religion, put all that to the side and come together as brother and sister. I mean, we would be unstoppable as a force. But
absolutely,
I don't know. I don't know why they would want to push that, knowing how scary it could be if we did all come together, because we could easily.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. They've built their whole ideology on divisiveness, keeping everyone pecking at each other. But, if you could manipulate, you got aliens on your side, or maybe let's take a different approach. Let's say maybe after World War II, the aliens are like, hey guys, see, you're nuking each other now, so we're going to have to get involved. That's a common belief, I think, among people who believe in aliens, that aliens got involved after the atomic bombing. So let's say that's the case. That's why I was sort of curious, what's going on between the Philippines and China, Because to me, it feels like we're at a sparking point. We've got 17 countries in Ukraine fighting Russia. Everyone's practicing out their old, military warfare, getting the rust kicked off of them. And you watch how World War I and World War II start. They start exactly like these battles. They start in a country everyone agrees on. Everyone decides to pick a side. And then they start practicing their weapons, seeing what each other's got. And now, we've got the same thing going on in China. Like right now, they've closed down the Strait of Taiwan, which they can't do, but they just did that recently. And before this, you had this beef going on with the Philippines. I mean, what happens if it was?
Isn't that the bigger battle?
Say what?
Isn't that the bigger battle? We can't have China take Taiwan. We can have Russia take Ukraine. We cannot have the Chinese swallow and own Taiwan. We cannot
Well,
have that.
yeah, because then it becomes a threat to Japan. And so Japan is sitting there talking about, they've gotten their own military within the last 10 years for the first time since World War II. And they've signed legal documents with us and other nations saying if they're touched, they touch all of us.
Well, I don't know, my belief is like when World War I ended, it was all the countries going up against Germany, and that's the whole treaty that was put up against Germany is what made the way I think is the reason why Germany rose up and why World War II happened. I say that because the same kind of thing is happening, right? Like America keeps thinking as we're the superpower, and these other countries are now setting they're establishing themselves or attempting to establish themselves as some sort of power as well. And unfortunately, how are you going to become the superpower or how without beating the superpower? So like that's
you don't get a shot at the belt unless you take on the champion, right?
Right. Exactly. So like for me, all these little things, these little treaties are like, are they little things to set up like, hey, this is what we're going to do? Like,
so you see what's going on.
How far can I get?
What's going on with Taiwan is we're probably not going to save Taiwan. We said we were going to save Britain said they were going to save Hong Kong, and they didn't save Hong Kong. All they did was offer dual citizenship to any Hong Kong citizens that needed to seek refuge away when China took it over in 2019, 2020.
Yeah.
So now they've turned their eye, and this is all public. Like their State Department comes out and is like, "Hey, we can't wait for the reunification of Taiwan to China. We're so excited." And then they've been practicing all these drills, and they've been flying. I watched China Uncensored. They've been flying like jets over there every day. Like they do 8 drills over Taiwan every day. And they said the reason they're doing it is they're, figuring out how long it takes them to get in the air and how, figuring out what the parameters of how quickly they can catch up with their, what damage can be done before they can get their airs in the air.
Korea as well. They've been doing a lot of testing.
Yep. Yes. So I think that we're going to give up Taiwan. I think that's what's going to happen. I think, sorry, Taiwan, we tried, not really, but Taiwan's not going to make it. And then it becomes Japan's problem. Japan and the Philippines.
See, that's the thing is we just got out of like the Iraq war. So we've been at war for so long. Like now
this is the time to poke the bear.
Yeah. The best time because, hey, they have to build up at some point over the last 20 years.
Well, and what happens if it's the aliens coming in and being like, hey, these are the rules. These are the rules for engagement. Like, hey, we know you guys are going to do this, but
they're the godfather or the ancestors of the, yeah. I mean, that makes sense. I like that theory in a sense, where the aliens were like, listen, this is yours, but you fuck on it. We're going to come on down and we're going to put it back into the order that it needs to be.
Well, this fits into, well, I guess I don't.
Intergalactic treaty.
So aliens have been talked about, for thousands of years. There's drawings and all that stuff, right? But present day, it doesn't really get discussed until World War II with the Germans and the Nazis. Is it just because the Nazis were so evil, we want to attribute another force to them? Or was there another force helping the Nazis be evil?
Could be another force. I mean, there's supposedly alien colonies or alien groups, right? So
That's the whole argument of Antarctica, right? Is that
Yeah.
they had their Nazi bases to contact with the aliens or
Yeah.
whatever. The technology gets crazy after World War II.
Yeah.
Out of thin air. Like,
Rapid.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's, we didn't just wake up one day and be like, okay. No, I think that was
make some
Amazon
computers.
Prime before Amazon Prime, if you get what I'm
Well,
saying.
was that just because, people could argue, well, that's just because war, like you're trying to win a war, so your science community is just constantly working for your country to build you bigger and better and better and better and better. You know what I'm saying? So like, is that
Well, why wouldn't elderly people be more welcome to technology if that was the case?
True. Yeah. He makes a great point.
if you could see the smirk on his face, because I mean that is a good point. That's interesting. That's the thought of the day. We need a jingle for that.
Points to Clemens.
That's
Clemens.
Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina.
Thanks for the tip.
Yes. Thanks for the tip.
Just the tip.
Just a tip. Just a tip, Clemens. That's all we need from you. I updated the soundboard. I always forget to use it during the show. I mean, there's so many opportunities.
You suck.
All right.
I appreciate that.
Well, I mean, like, so now, Clemens, you're Christian, right?
Yes.
So you take everything with like this Christian view. So like, can you accept the idea of aliens?
Oh yeah. See, because here's my take, and wrong or right, it's just my view. But we look at demons and we look at the devil, if you will, as like the Lord of Darkness, like darkness, right? And we often like look down, like hell is down, but space is pretty dark as well. And for me, I think everything can be connected. And when I look at aliens, I get real like, I'm somebody with trust issues anyway, but like for me, I'm like, these people are coming. If they're coming from outer space, they're coming from the dark. If they're coming from, the ocean, they're coming from darkness as well. So like I'm a little on the fence on whether or not like I want to trust that these beings or these things have our best interest at heart.
Would they classify then as like demons? Would that be like what the Bible is talking about when they talk about demons, creatures from the dark?
We don't really have any picture depiction, so the only thing we have are the words that are being given to us through the Bible. So that's where I have trust issues with it. So like if these beings are coming from somewhere, I'm not gonna go and wholeheartedly trust what they have going,
What their intentions are,
right? So the government comes in and they're like, hey, let's reverse engineer this stuff, but we don't know what we're tinkering around with. We don't know what we're poking and prodding. So if these things are that much smarter than they can build aircrafts that don't make any noise and that can fly through the water as if water's not even resisting, and fly through space without making a noise or burning any fuel, then if they're crashing, is there some strategic reason for them crashing? Are they trying to, I guess, manipulate, if you will, a generation of people to guide them in a certain direction? And if so, why?
I think there's.
I love that. That last part, that makes total sense. Get a generation behind you that isn't just fairy tales and wise tale stories. Get a generation that actually sees itty bitty breadcrumbs of the truth. Get a mass following, and then find out a way to broadcast yourself. So,
yeah,
I like that.
Well, it's like my uncle thinks the internet is of the devil. That's a large generalization, but the idea that the devil is roams the air. I forget what scripture he uses.
But if it's a thing that introduces the devil, then couldn't it be considered the devil in their eyes, in their perspective?
Well, yeah.
I'm not saying that it does or it is,
yeah.
but like, if hindsight was hindsight.
Yeah. No, I don't. Because like you said, like it's almost like, because we're of the last generation to experience life before the internet, before the mass connection. Where there was, like local community mattered, good or bad. You dealt with it either way, but it was all, there was no outreach for help or anything like that. It was just, that was the bowl you were given, and then you ride your bike to your friend's house or you do stuff like that. And then early adult life, we were introduced to apps like Facebook and Twitter and MySpace. And
well, sometimes these like Facebook pages are created like before you even realize. Like some people are born into their Facebook, like their parents created it and created their own, page, and so that way, it's a journal, a life journal, or a way for parents to scrapbook, if you will, their child's life. Like it's a neat tool, that can be used
but the whole purpose of the tool is to mine information about the individual so they can be sold whatever items need to be sold to. You know what I mean? Like that's
advertisement.
Yeah. The person that creates the Facebook account is the product that is being sold. That is how Facebook makes their money, right? It's like, hey, we have so many products, and here are all their interests and likes and hobbies and stupid stuff they'll spend money on, and all this stuff. And then these advertisers like, well, I'll buy my rights to be introduced to this group of people, and then all that advertising money is sent there. So they pretty much not epitomize, but they streamline the revenue making process for smaller companies because it's directed to the actual audience because of all the information you gave to your Facebook page.
Right. So the more times you see Carmelo, the more times that the better the chance is that you're going to stop at a convenience store or stop at the grocery store and buy a Carmelo. Like, oh, well, sounds good. Just because you've seen it more.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I just learned something new. Like in 2012 or 2014, there was a law passed in the United States, the something Herman Pact, and he was the bill is that the United States government is now legally allowed to use propaganda inside the United States against its own citizens. So how the CIA had laws where it could not operate within the United States. They were supposed to be intelligence for foreign intelligence only. So Radio 1 America News and all those, broadcasting stations overseas are not allowed in the US because it's propaganda. And so you can't propagandize that's a law. And so that was a law made when the CIA was created, and that was repealed in, it was either 2012 or it's like Mumford, I can't remember what act it was. And it's interesting because this would have been around the same time that there was heavy investment into Facebook, Twitter, all these social media sites, which pretty much was like the government wanting access to be able to propagandize their own citizens.
Yep.
Coincidence?
Anyway, All right. Well, that's
Part of
funny.
the perfect plan.
Brad Olson coming on second week of July. So
Perfect.
if you get a chance, watch the debate between Flat Earth Dave and Brad Olson. Very civil. I forget.
Was this the second time they've done this?
Yes, and it was moderated. Which was a smart decision.
I wonder what Flat Earth Dave's like input is on this subject. Like,
it's fascinating.
Did this fall from the sky?
Would you like to talk to Flat Earth Dave sometime?
That would be great.
All right, we'll reach out to Flat Earth Dave. Maybe he'll give us a do-over from being that other podcast he thought he was. Only a fan of hams. All right. Till next week. Have a good week, everybody.
Oh yeah. You too.